The horse will give these zodiac signs enormous wealth in 2026. The year 2026 will pass under the cover of the powerful power of the horse, a symbol of fallen barriers, wild freedom, and rapid financial growth. But this totem is not for everyone. It brings its grace only to those whose energy matches its vibrations. Only some zodiac signs will get a chance to jump into the saddle of this luck and ride the road to wealth without stops and delays. The horse will open the secret gates of abundance for these people. Money channels are activated, old debts freeze, and fate will literally begin to push them towards a large increase in business, career, lotteries, and pleasing affairs. Not just money awaits them, but unexpected sources of profit, powerful partnerships, materialization of long-standing desires. Subscribe to the channel if you want to find out if your sign is among those to whom the horse will bring the desired wealth. Ahead, specific signs of fate, and the magic of numbers in 2026. Write in the comments, do you feel like 2026 is your year of leaping upwards? The first sign is Leo. The horse symbol in 2026 will activate a flow of finance for Leo that will not be associated with luck, but with a clear combination of personal determination, large-scale decisions, and one fateful opportunity that cannot be missed. Everything will begin in January, when the structure of tasks changes, a key figure appears offering an ambitious project. It will require courage, but behind it is a resource that can bring Leo to a level of income that previously seemed too far away. The influence of the horse in the horoscope means moving forward, expanding territories, accelerating processes, and it is in this rhythm that Leo will show himself with maximum efficiency. The middle of spring will bring a decision that will become a starting point for growth. This could be a new position, scaling a business, an international contract, or a transition to a completely new area with a high level of income. All this will not happen by chance. Initiative and a tough position will be required. By the middle of the year, a clear model of cash flow will be formed. Income will begin to grow unevenly, but in leaps and bounds. There will be two particularly active periods, June and August. During these months, Leo will gain access to a source of income where it is possible to work for the future. Long-term investments, partnership income, interest, real estate, the technology sector. Everything related to dynamics, management, logistics, and organization will bring high results. An investment turn towards international markets will be especially profitable. The key condition: do not stand still. The horse does not tolerate inertia. It requires a jump, a sharp step, a bold move. The more active Leo is, the higher the return. All signs originating from this symbol are associated with the energy of control, influence, dominance, and this corresponds to the nature of Leo. That is why this year is completely harmonious for him to reveal his financial potential. In October, a one-time but powerful jump in capital is possible. This could be a deal, a win, a bonus, compensation, or a very profitable sale. The main thing is not to miss the moment, as the window of opportunity will be narrow. Everything that accumulates before November should be used for consolidation, purchases, investments, creation of a reserve fund. Autumn is a time of stabilization and expansion of influence, when money no longer works for survival but for power. By December, a closed cycle will be activated. What was invested in the spring will begin to return, and with a profit higher than expected. Particular attention should be paid to asset management, distribution of funds, competent investments, legal registration. The year of the horse requires not only swiftness but also accuracy. And if Leo combines impulse with calculation, the result will be maximum. 2026 for Leo will be the year when the scale of money will begin to correspond to the scale of thinking. The flow of wealth will open not through compromise, but through strength of character and the ability to take responsibility. The horse grants movement, but Leo himself chooses the direction. And if the step is accurate, wealth will not just come, it will remain. The second sign is Virgo. The symbolic energy of the horse in 2026 opens up a precise and practical path to wealth for Virgo, not through risks or adventures, but through a perfectly structured system of actions. It is to Virgo that the horse will convey not speed, but the power of endurance and control over financial flows. The beginning of 2026 will be the starting point a long-awaited opportunity will appear, which previously could not be realized due to external restrictions. Now these restrictions will disappear, and Virgo will feel that control is completely in her hands. The key moment will come in the second quarter of the year, when a specific offer will be received or a project will open that was previously refused. It is at this moment that Virgo will have to turn on all her strategic thinking. The horse gives her not luck in the usual sense, but the opportunity to increase what she already has. This is not an accidental win. This is a clear growth of capital due to reliance on her knowledge and precise steps. Any system created by Virgo in the past will now begin to generate profit. The wealth that will begin to accumulate in 2026 will not be instantaneous, but it will be stable and sustainable. Virgos associated with analytics, jurisprudence, planning, education, and service structures will be especially successful. Their accuracy, ability to see weak points and eliminate them is exactly the gift that the horse activates, especially in those areas where others don't see the point. Virgo will find growth points and will be able to quickly scale the result. This year, unexpected influxes of finance from past efforts are possible. For example, new clients will appear, old connections will be remembered, people whom Virgo once helped will become active. The horse will bring these people back, but with benefit. This will look like a return on long-term investments, not only financial but also reputational. The main source of wealth is the name and authority that has accumulated over the years of precise work. In 2026, Virgo is advised to go beyond the usual. The horse requires movement, and if Virgo takes too long to think about everything, the moment will be lost. But if she starts to act quickly and accurately, then by summer she will see the first significant results. An increase in income, an increase in status, invitations to new projects. It is possible to open her own direction, expand her business, or a new scale via online. The biggest money for Virgo will come in the fall. This will be the moment when the horse will accelerate to the maximum and push her forward. Serious partners, support from authoritative people, new resources will appear in her environment. Relocation or financial gain through foreign projects is also possible. Money will come easily if Virgo does not control everything down to the last detail, but trusts herself and the rhythm of time. Financial well-being in 2026 will be accompanied by a feeling of inner strength. The horse will give Virgo not only resources, but also a clear direction. She will no longer doubt. Every decision will be timely. And if Virgo trusts the energy of the year, her name can become a symbol of growth, strength, and financial power among all signs. The third sign is Capricorn. When the horse chooses an ally, it looks for endurance, discipline, and the ability to go all the way. In 2026, it is Capricorn that will become its key bearer of strength, capable of turning every invested step into concrete wealth. This sign has long deserved its breakthrough, and now the horse will open the gates of material triumph for it. Everything will start with an unexpected turn. Capricorn will gain access to a resource that was previously considered closed: investments, an authoritative contact, a position, or an international project. The first signals will begin to appear in January. At first, small successes, offers, test tasks, but in the spring, the scale will increase sharply. Capricorn, who is not afraid of responsibility, will receive control of large financial flows. This could be a business, a management position, contracts with serious money, and all this within the framework of the law, structure, and a clear hierarchy, which is ideal for the energy of Capricorn. The peculiarity of the year is that money will not come by chance, but through growth of position. The horse will bring Capricorn power, which will attract resources. People will begin to offer their participation in projects, investors will seek cooperation, clients will increase turnover. Everything that Capricorn invests their systematicity in will become a source of stable profit. A separate emphasis should be placed on real estate, land, technology, logistics, and infrastructure. These are the areas where the horse gives maximum reinforcement. Representatives of the sign who are ready to act quickly, but without losing the structure, will be especially strong. Capricorn will get a chance to strengthen the financial base for 10 years ahead if they use the energy of the year. This will be a moment of property expansion, asset development, and reaching a completely new level of income. The middle of the year will be the time when Capricorn will feel that the money is coming by itself. Contracts that were previously discussed for months will be signed in days. Those who did not believe will return with proposals. The system built earlier will begin to bring results almost daily. And most importantly, this wealth will be accompanied by respect and recognition. This is not just profit, it is status. Autumn will be the apogee of financial prosperity. International transactions, relocation, large-scale purchases, acquisition of companies or land plots are possible. Capricorn, who has always strived for a foundation, will receive it in the form of a strong base, property, resources, influence. And all this is due to the fact that the horse activates the main strength of Capricorn, the ability to build where others only dream. The horse will give not a random chance, but a long-awaited implementation. And those Capricorns who are ready not to stop in 2026 will receive the main ding. Stable wealth, recorded not only in numbers, but also in a real power, in a name that will sound like a symbol of victory. The fourth sign of Pisces. The beginning of 2026 for the representative of this sign will pass under the symbol of an unexpected turn. The horse does not bring movement, it brings a jerk. Pisces, as if emerging from a dead pause in which they have lived for a long time, and begin to act. Already in January, a call comes in that opens a completely new page. An offer that previously seemed impossible becomes reality. This is either an international contract, or a highly paid job in an unusual niche, or a chance to start your own business with outside investment. Everything starts quickly, as if someone forcefully opened a closed door. February consolidates the start, activating the sphere of financial flows. Dividends, interest, rewards, closing of old debts come here. At the same time, each financial income is accompanied by a specific opportunity to invest, buy out, acquire. Pisces need to be attentive to their surroundings. It is through connections that key income will come. One conversation can turn into a source of tens of thousands, one person into a channel of stable cash flow. And this is not magic, but an exact consequence of the accumulated experience, which in 2026 begins to be paid for according to its merits. The main turn begins with spring. The horse, the symbol of the year, brings Pisces to the forefront. They are appreciated, called, invited, asked, hired. Giving up the old role is the first test. Pisces who leave the past receive incredible benefits. Buying real estate, signing a contract, investments that will triple in 6 months. All this is possible if you do not cling to what has already been exhausted. June is especially important. It is in this month that Pisces get the opportunity to conclude a deal that will solve the issue of money for years to come. Investments in knowledge, technology, digital products, or production will be the most successful. The likelihood of a large inheritance or compensation payment also increases. Money comes in volumes that were not there before. This is not an accident, but the result of inclusion, which will manifest itself in the year of the horse. The period of expansion begins in the fall. Pisces can afford things they never thought about before: travel, construction, large-scale purchases. At the same time, their personal assets grow. A bank account, shares, capitalization of ideas. And all this continues until the end of the year. The most powerful point is December. During this period, the budget is reviewed, and Pisces are surprised to understand that wealth is not in the abstract, but in the numbers that are already in the account. The horse does not give illusions, it gives results. And for Pisces, 2026 will be the moment when they will not just feel wealth, but take it into their own hands. Every step this year pays off. Every risk is justified. Every courage brings profit. And if you do not deviate from the course, money will cease to be a topic of concern. It will become a constant companion. The fifth sign is Taurus. For a representative of this sign, 2026 begins with a heightened sense of purpose. Taurus does not wait for a chance, he goes for it. Already in January, channels of influence are activated. Old partners, influential acquaintances, closed offers. Taurus quickly adapts, finds growth points, and begins to act. The horse pushes forward, giving no time to think. And rightly so. It is the instant reaction at the beginning of the year that opens access to large sums of money. The first contract concluded this year launches a series of subsequent ones. Moreover, each subsequent one brings more. March brings an important meeting. This is not a random person, but a future ally who will offer a business, equity participation, or investments. The conditions will be tough but fair. And if Taurus agrees, the active phase of capital accumulation will begin. Income will be stable, coming from several directions at once: rent, sale, interest, commercial activity. The key word of the year is assets. Everything that Taurus registers in his or her name will increase in price. This is especially true for land, commercial real estate, and equipment. Summer will be the peak. It is in July and August that Taurus receives the largest payment of the year. This could be a one-time sum from a transaction, the closure of an old project, compensation, or an unexpected inheritance. Also during this period, it is possible for other people to pay off debt obligations, which will free up significant amounts. The horse brings speed. Everything that would drag on for months and other years is resolved within a week. Taurus will feel in control of the situation, and for the first time in a long time will not think about where to get money. She will choose where to invest it. Strengthening begins in September. Taurus manages to stabilize flows, create a cushion, distribute budgets. International opportunities appear on the horizon. Moving, export, participation in conferences, entering other markets. All this is accompanied by an increase in finances. Autumn gives a chance to make a breakthrough, not for the sake of ambition, but for the sake of sustainability. Taurus is capable of achieving several major goals at once: buying a house, providing for parents, creating passive income. The final stage of the year sums up. In November and December, Taurus takes stock, what worked and what didn't, and with surprise he records. In 2026, he managed not only to earn more than in the previous 3 years combined, but also to create a platform for the following years. The horse accelerates everything, but only those who act. This year, Taurus becomes an example of how stability turns into luxury and perseverance into capital. This is not luck or chance. This is work that is now paid in full.